It's June, and we're already 6 months into our Positive Resolutions project. Can you believe that half the year has already gone by? If you're new to the Positive Resolutions project, no worries. You can join us right now. But if you want more information, I made a whole video about it back in January, and there's a link to that video in the description down below. This month's resolution topic focuses on plant protein and encourages you to eat a plant. The topic continues on the past months where we did whole grains and organic fruits and vegetables. Adding plant protein is an easy way for you to build on those earlier achievements. And I can safely say that plant protein is one of the best known nutrients for active individuals. The benefits of plant protein are nearly endless, especially for people involved in vigorous training. Many cells, tissues, blood, and antibodies can be rebuilt using protein, making it a vital component for your recovery. And I did a whole video a few weeks ago about rest and recovery, and there's a link to that in the description down below, just in case you missed it. I mean, think about it. You are protein for the most part. Most of your tissues, hormones, and enzymes are all made of protein. And your hair is 95% protein, and I've got a lot of hair. But seriously, protein can be a controversial topic, especially when it comes to sources of protein. I'm going to look into plant protein and give you all the information that you need to know about it. But first, if you're new here, my name is Amy and I'm an ISSA certified elite trainer, precision nutrition certified nutrition coach, and PSA ranked and rated figure skating coach. I help athletes, families, and even other coaches help create change and get actual results. Now, let's get into it. According to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, plant-based diets can lead to a reduced risk of heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, some cancers, and obesity. It's not surprising at all that more and more studies recommend that we eat more plants and fewer animal protein. A plant-based diet consists mainly of fruits and vegetables, grains, and legumes. For some, modest amounts of meat are also included. The National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, or NHANES for short, shows that the average American gets 46% of protein from animal sources, 16% from dairy products, and 30% from plant sources. The main plant sources of protein that Americans currently eat include yeast bread, seeds and nuts, beans, peas, legumes, potatoes, tortillas, beer, cookies, brownies, and ready-to-eat cereal. This month's goal is to select more nutritious sources for plant-based protein. In addition to the protein that you get from plants, you'll also benefit from fiber, probiotics, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. When most people hear the term plant protein, they immediately think of a supplement. But I'd like to emphasize that we're not really talking about supplements here. Instead, I'm suggesting different types of protein that are already in vegetables, legumes, and nuts. And it's worth noting that the protein that you get from supplements is almost the same to the protein that you can get from food. First, some protein powders will absorb more quickly than others. That means that some protein powders aren't particularly potent or very effective. Supplements were designed to complement and improve your diet plan, but not to replace food. They can come in handy when you're in a pinch, such as after a workout, or even for breakfast if you're pressed for time and running low on calories. But when you eat protein in the form of food, you get the benefit of fiber and other nutrients. This is because it's a whole food rather than something that's been processed into a powder. As you probably already know, your body is technically a protein-making machine. Aside from water, protein is the most common element in the human body. More importantly, protein regulates various vital processes. In a sense, protein is the building block for most of your tissues, enzymes, and hormones. There are two types of protein containing foods, complete and incomplete. And whether they're complete or incomplete depends on the amino acid profile of the food. Complete proteins contain all the essential amino acids and are usually found in animal foods like eggs. On the other hand, we have plant foods with more incomplete protein because most plants lack some essential amino acids. Even though animal products are the easiest and most efficient way to get your complete amino acid profile, you can do the same with just plants. The simplest and best way to do this is to combine different sources of plant protein. Think beans and rice, for example. Combining plant protein sources will allow each food to compensate for the lack of amino acids in its combined food. This is actually one of the main principles of vegetarian and vegan nutrition. Combining different plant proteins will help you meet your daily protein needs with ease. If you ever thought that vegetarians and vegans were deprived of protein, that's not usually the case. The fact is that if a plant-based eater has a rational, balanced nutrition plan, there will be no deprivation of protein. In fact, there was even a recent clinical trial that examined high-protein plant-based diet versus a protein-matched omnivorous diet to support resistance training adaptation. This trial investigated the effects of dietary protein source, exclusively plant-based versus a mixed diet, on changes in muscle mass and strength in healthy young men that are undertaking resistance training. The method used was to compare 19 young men who were habitual vegans and 19 young men that were omnivores. Both groups undertook a 12-week, twice-weekly supervised resistance training program. Dietary intake was monitored every 4 weeks during the trial. Leg lean muscle mass, whole muscle, and muscle fiber cross-section area, as well as leg press, were assessed before, pre, and after post. The trial results demonstrated that both groups showed significant pre to post increases in lean mass with no between group differences for any of the variables. The conclusion was that a high protein exclusively plant-based diet is not different than a protein-matched mixed diet in supporting muscle mass and mass accrual. So the suggestion is that the protein source does not affect resistance training induced adaptations in untrained young men consuming adequate amounts of protein. What are the best plant-based protein sources? Organic nuts, peas, beans, soy products, and grain plants are some of the best plant-based sources to replace conventional animal products. Different proteins are found in these various foods, each with its own set of amino acids. All of these products are at the top list of plant-based protein sources. There are many plant-based sources that you can use to meet your protein needs. I'm going to put a list of the most common plant-based sources with their protein content. So, how much protein should you eat? This is perhaps one of the most frequently asked questions, no matter if it's for fat loss or muscle gain. And as is usually the case, there's no real definitive answer because we all process protein differently and at a slightly different rate. But general guidelines recommend consuming 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. And the more muscle mass you already have, the higher on that range you would be. For instance, if you weigh 200 pounds and have 10% body fat, you would need about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. But if you weigh 200 pounds and you have 20% body fat, you would need less protein. Whether you're trying to build muscle or lose fat, consuming around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight appears to be the optimal range for muscle gain and muscle retention. As always, be mindful of what you're eating. Consider how and why you can add more nutrient-dense plant sources of protein. Now, how can you make this a habit? I suggest you take the time to evaluate and reflect on this month's goal and what will work for you. Here are some of my suggestions for possible goals. Pick a few to try or just make your own. For one dinner this month, instead of eating a beef burger, try grilling a portobello mushroom, nut butter, and banana or apple sandwich in your lunch once a week. Make a pot of chili this month using only beans and no meat. Twice this month, when a recipe calls for ground beef, use lentils in place. Or just try lentils as your main dish. Try one new recipe each week that includes a plant-based source of protein. Vow to experiment with at least one new protein source, at least that's new to you, such as organic tofu or tempeh. Just try to stay away from commercially made plant protein products like Impossible or Beyond Burger, remember, those are highly processed foods. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which of my suggestions you're going to use or what else you come up with. Just leave me a comment down below. Even though protein from animal sources is superior to plant-based sources, there's really no reason why you can't meet your protein needs by eating just plants alone. Doing this is generally more challenging, but as long as you combine different plant sources of protein, like legumes, grains, and beans, you'll be good to go. Ultimately, your best bet would be to consume up to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every day from a variety of plant-based protein sources. Whether you're meeting your protein needs or not can be judged from your performance, how you recover, and the way that you feel. Take one more step this month to a healthier lifestyle and eat a plant. If you need a little more help, I have a great free resource for you. It's right on my website. It's my new plant-based recipe guide. Just go to amyvricka.com/freebies and you can download your copy right there. And there's lots of other stuff on that page too, and you don't have to choose just one. You can have as many of those as you like as my gift to you for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you think it could help someone else out, share it with them and share it on your social media too. And remember, I post at least 3 videos a week that can help you live a healthier life. So hit that subscribe button and ring the bell right next to it so that you never miss a video. And I almost forgot, I have my brand new 30-day plant-based eating program. Just go to amyvricka.com/programs. And when you use promo code YouTube, you can save $100. But there's only a limited number of those promo codes available. Be sure to use it right away before it runs out. That's all for now. This is Amy. I will see you real soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.